Okay, so first of all, I have here some Excel dates, and I want to convert these into decimal dates. And this means that the year will be represented by the whole number, and then the number of months and the number of days will be represented by everything after the decimal point. So every year will be equal to 1, and then 6 months, for example, will be equal to 0.5. And there's a number of different reasons why people would want to be able to format dates in this way, and I have found 3 different methods for doing it in Excel. So first thing that you need to know is that if you type 0 and 1 into Excel and then format these as dates, that becomes the 1st of January 1900 and then also 0 January 1900, which looks a little bit weird, but it's because Excel dates don't start until the 1st of January 1900. If you try and put a date from before then into Excel, it won't be able to recognize it properly. And in Excel, every day is equal to 1. So if I put 2 in here and then format this as a date, it becomes the 2nd of January 1900. And it will do the same thing if I type in 3 or 4 or 5, becomes the 5th of January 1900. So if I go here and I convert this into the general format, it becomes 28,606. And that is because that is the number of days since the 1st of January 1900. But I don't want the number of days, I want the number of years, so I am going to take this number and divide it by 365 because that is the number of days in a year. But then because every 4th year is a leap year, I'm going to add 0.25 to the end of this in order to take account of that. And then I'm going to press enter. And this gives me a number which is about 78. Now, if I change this back to the date format, this is in the year 1978, and the number it's producing is 78, so it's about 1900 off, and that's because Excel dates don't start until 1900. So I need to take this, and then I'm going to add 1900 to it. And this is the first method that I found of calculating the decimal dates. So the year is represented by the whole number, and then the months and the days are represented by everything after the decimal point as a sort of fraction of the year. Now, the next method that I have found of doing this involves separating the years, the months, and the days out into separate columns. So I am going to do that by using the year formula and selecting the date and enter, and then month and selecting the date and enter, and then day and selecting the date and enter. So this is the 26th of April 1978. And the first thing that I will do is do equals the year. Then I want to add the number of months onto it, but I can't just add 4 onto it because that would obviously give me an incorrect year. So there are obviously 12 months in every year, so each month is equal to 1/12 of a year. Now, if I go down here and I just click and drag this, and then go to fill series, and then I will do equals and then this number and then divide it by 12 and then click and drag this down. So this is what each month is equal to as a fraction of a year. So like 6 months is equal to 0.5 and 12 months would be equal to 1. So I can go back to here and put this in brackets and then do divided by 12, and this will give me a fraction of a year. However, this isn't quite right yet because this number is slightly higher than this number here, and that's because if you think about it, January goes from 0 to 0.083, etc. So this number here is actually representing the very end of January, the very last day in January. So I need to go to here and do minus 1 divided by 12. If not, I'm always going to end up a month larger than I want to be. So this is now 0.25, and here March is equal to 0.25, so this is now representing the very last day in March, and when I add the number of days to it, that will then push it into April. So I'm going to add the days to it now. I'm going to do plus 26 and then divided by 365, because there's 365 days in a year, and then I'm going to do 0.25 to represent the leap years, and then I'm going to close brackets and enter, and this is the second method that I've used to calculate the decimal dates. Now if I click and drag this here, you can see that it's producing slightly different results because I'm using a different method. Now, the third method that I have used uses the Excel formula year fraction. So if I type equals year fraction, and this has a start date and an end date because this formula is supposed to be used for taking one date away from another date to work out the amount of time in between the two dates. But I don't want to do that, I just want to take one date and reformat it, so I'm going to make my start date the date I actually want, and then because I don't want to take anything away from that, I'm going to make my end date 0. Then the next thing is the basis, and there's a number of different options for this based on a number of different accounting and economic reasons. So for example, is assuming that every month has 30 days in it and every year has 360 days in it. And 3 assumes the actual number of days in the month, so anything from 28 to 31, and then assumes that every year has 365 days in it, so it doesn't take into account leap years. And then 2 assumes the actual number of days in the month, and then assumes every year has 360 days in it. I am going to use 1, which is the actual number of days in every month and the actual number of days in all the years. So I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to close brackets and enter. And this has given me a value of about 78 again, and that's because Excel dates don't start until 1900. So I'm going to add 1900 to this, and it's automatically formatted it as a day, but I'm just going to change this back to general. And now this is my third method of calculating decimal dates. Now you can see that all 3 of these methods produce slightly different results. I prefer to use the year fraction method because it's the only one where you're not approximating the length of the leap years. But I don't necessarily know which one is the correct one to use. I think it just depends on what you're planning to use the dates for. Okay, and that is it.